break there. Michael, we got you going? Okay, we're on. So we have requested Jim Beam and Rebecca Rice to come back because they did such a great job mystifying me, and I said, man, I want to learn more about this. So let's give Jim a hand here. And I'm going to let him introduce himself and where he's from and everything because he knows a lot more about him than I do.
I've done that several times since then.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, I've really enjoyed the time span I've spent on the phone and go-to meeting, and he's really challenged me in some of the things I've thought and believed about real estate investing. And just to have him challenge me a little bit like that, powerful. So I look forward to more meetings there. Wish we could come here more often, but it's like United States, South Florida, that's me. This is yours. That's really a hard trip to make, and I'll be here. Anyway, I'm Jim Beam, LifeWay Advisors is my practice, and in South Florida, been down there about 21 years. And my really good friend that is going to be speaking with me today is Rebecca Rice. She's actually who brought me to this industry and taught me everything I know, so to speak. But Rebecca is in Little Rock, Arkansas with her practice, Rebecca Rice and Associates. Dan said, go do your due diligence, look us up. We got great websites, check us out. But I got to give Rebecca a little bit of props that she probably wouldn't do herself. She has been recognized in the financial industry with one of the largest insurance companies that you guys may have heard of, Massachusetts Mutual. The first woman in the history of 167 years. The first woman to be the top producer in the company. Right. I'm honored to work with her. You guys are a real treat to hear Becky speak. So, who's the ROI on your REI? Okay. Obviously, we're in a real estate investing format here, so assuming everybody does real estate investing, how can we boost your ROI? Well, first of all, let me say this. I assume that all of you are really good at what you do with your real estate investing. I'm not here to talk about that. Rebecca's not here to talk about that, how you can flip houses. Okay? But what we want to look at is a different strategy with how you approach your real estate investing with your dollars, with your money. Okay? Thank you. I was going to forget. Funny story, I got all the way through a go-to meeting one time with a client, and she said, am I supposed to be seeing something on your screen? I forgot to hit the share your screen button. So, a good friend of ours who's an Austrian economic writer put this statement out that in great times of financial uncertainty, businesses know that first you need cash to maneuver, and second, you need to be able to access that cash immediately when you need it. Right? So what that tells me is, in real estate investing or business, if it's contracting or selling pizzas, it doesn't matter. You're working from some position of cash, some position of capital. Okay? So who in here is dissatisfied with the low interest earning environments that's offered by the banks now? Right? Okay. And how many of you would like to see your money working in more than one place at a time? Okay, well, we're about to show you this strategy that we've affectionately called the private reserve strategy. Right now, Dan's already let the cat out of the bag a little bit. It's an insurance product. And we're going to show you the power of leveraging within that insurance product. But that's not all we do. One of the things we do is work with a lot of clients just on sound money solutions, the sound money principles. Okay, there's a lot of financial information floating around out there that you talk to your friends and family and people at the water cooler, and they'll say things like, man, I'm going to get a 15-year mortgage and pay it off as fast as I can. Somebody grabs that. And they think it's truth, and they go out and they spread that word. And it may be true, but did anybody prove that with math? No, the guy heard it at the coffee thing in the back. Somebody else is getting a 15-year mortgage and you're going to try to pay it off as fast as they can. Okay? So sound money solutions, sound money principles. We want to prove everything that we talk about today. We want to prove everything we talk about financially with a calculator. It's numbers. Okay.
Does that include dividing up your mortgage payment, your monthly mortgage payment in half, and then paying it Each, that half, so you pay twice a month?
We can show that with math, right? I'm not gonna say whether that's right or wrong or good or bad today, but we can certainly look at, what if you were to do that? Right? What would the outcome be for you in 30 years? Or what if we were to do it a different way? What if you took a 30-year, the lowest interest rate you can, and stretched it out? What would that look like for you in 30 years?
Love
You can make a business
spreadsheets.
decision. What's that?
Love
Yeah,
spreadsheets.
spreadsheets are great, and we've got a great spreadsheet that I want to show you at the end of the day today, if we've got time. It'll blow your mind when you start looking at how the dollar bill works in your personal and your business economy. You start seeing how the power of compounding, the power of putting your dollar work in more than one place at a time, really makes a big difference compared to traditionally, what do? Businesses need cash to maneuver, right? What do you normally see folks do? Got cash living somewhere, right? Ready to be used, ready to be deployed to go to work in your real estate investing business. Where's that cash live?
In the bank.
In the bank. What's it doing?
In the low
A little bit.
Crying.
A little bit.
Crying.
Then when you're ready to maneuver, what do you got? What you say?
Crying.
Yeah, right. It's hurt, right? It's not doing anything. Then you're ready to maneuver in your business. What do you have to do with that cash? Remove it from the place that it was trying to work. As little as it's making today, but it's still doing something. Take it out. Put it to work in your business. Right now it's doing what you really want it to do. Right? What's some returns you're making on real estate investing? 15, 20% these days? I don't know. But that's good. You want to make money with your money. But you took it from somewhere, it stopped working, now you got to work here. We call that an or asset. The account, bank account is an or asset. What do you mean by that? The money can either be working in the account or it can be in your business going to work. Okay? So you've got this need for cash, and we want to show you how when you solve your need for cash, and you will, it can severely affect your profit on the property. Now, the real estate deal doesn't know where the money comes from, right? The real estate deal is going to make 10 or 15 or 20% regardless of where the money came from, okay, if you're really good at what you're doing. So what can we do to bring the money from a place that allows you to increase the horsepower and the working capacity of what that dollar bill does? How do you do that, John? Right? How do you do that? We've got to create a proper environment for your cash. Right? Now I think of, let me back up a little bit. Dan probably had our bios up on the website.
Oh, I do.
Okay, well, the bio's up there, so go verify. But in the bio, you'll see that my previous life, I was in general contracting and real estate development, and real estate projects. Over the last 15 years, over $500 million worth of projects that I've worked on, right, managed. It's a lot of money, right? It's coming through my office and being managed and distributed. Rebecca, on the other hand, she's worked with clients all over the country, all over the world, and she's approaching that as well with different clients that she's worked with. It's a lot of money. Well, why did I tell you that? Well, I tell you that because in working with all those dollars, we've really come to a good understanding of how the dollar bill works and behaves. Okay? And to sum it all up and to make it simple, I think of the dollar bill as an employee. Okay? My employee, right? My dollars are my employees. And what do I want to do with those employees? I want to have them be as efficient as they possibly can be, working for me, right? Whether it's in the accounts, savings account, whether it's in real estate investing, I want it to be as efficient as it can be, working as hard as it can for me. So I've created this environment for my cash. Let's think about it. Your cash needs to be in this asset that's liquid. Think of an employee, okay? You got an employee, they're going to need an environment to work in. Maybe it's a desk and an ergonomic chair, best computer system. We talked about computers a little earlier today, right? Spacious environment. They need to be able to move around, right? You don't want to have them in too tight of a cubicle, right? You want to have a good telephone system and have all these things that allows them to be liquid, move around and make decisions and make good decisions and be profitable for you as a business. Your cash is the same way. Right? If your cash is tied up in an environment that you can't get to without penalty or fees or waiting forever and a day. Which, by the way, we were talking about taking cash out of the bank the other day. Anybody ever try to take out like a block lump sum chunk of cash from your bank account lately? Right? How long does it take? I went in there, I said, I've got a deal, I need to get $45,000. She looked at it. I said, $45,000. She looked at it. I said, I've got $45,000 in there, don't I? Please don't. She said, yeah, but we don't have that kind of money here. Your bank. Right?
What's up with that?
She said, no, I've got to order the money, and you're going to have to come here and meet the Brinks truck so they can give you the cash. How long does that take? Well, it was Tuesday. I just made my order on Monday, so I'll order it again next Monday. You can come in the following Wednesday to get your money. Liquid. I mean, a little bit. Secure, right? When I was building high-rise condominiums on the beach, South Florida, we might have 350 or 400 employees on that job site at any one time, right? You know what we learned? We were very concerned about the safety of those employees, those men and women. We want them to go home at the end of the day, see their families, get rested up, come back and work for us again the next day. To be productive, we found that a clean job site and a safe job site was a productive job site, okay? It's not something fun to see somebody get hurt or injured or even killed on a job like that. Same thing with your money, right? What happens if you've got your money in an account that's exposed to market volatility? I'm not saying that's wrong because, you know, sometimes the market can be good for your portfolio, but imagine you have that money slotted to go to work for you in your real estate investing business, and the market did one of its deals, right? It's not a very secure place to have your working capital to get it ready to go to work. So we want to have a good, secure environment, and guaranteed. Employers spend a lot of money, a lot of time interviewing the right people, right? Researching the right people, doing their due diligence, finding out if this guy or gal can do the job, is going to show up every day on time, right? And it's going to be loyal to me. It's the same with your money. When you're ready to deploy that money, when you're ready to put that thing to work, you better be there. You need it to be there. So we're going to create an environment that allows you to do that. Now, Rebecca's going to come up, and she's going to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the environments that you're used to seeing today, all right, that we put our money into. Just because it's what we've been taught, it's what we know, it's what we're comfortable with. And then we're going to talk about a little bit different environment that allows your money to do so much more than what you're used to seeing. So we'll go to Rebecca.
Okay, guys. So just a little bit about me, and you will read this in the article that's in the newsletter or the magazine this quarter. But, and I started thinking about this as the young man came up, just starting. So at 37, I had to change careers. I was a mom before that. And I had to change into earning an income for my 3 children. And when I listened to Jim, you know, talk about some of the milestones that I have made in my life and in this industry, you know, breaking glass ceilings for women in this industry, which is a huge thing. But I sat here and I thought about you guys here in the audience today. So who's just starting out looking at this as either income or your whole job? Yeah. You know something? I've been in this business now 25 years. So I can relate to where you're sitting today, where I was 25 years ago. Trying to figure out how to feed my kids, make an income. And I never thought about being successful. I just knew what I needed to do to take care of my family. And so we're all like that, guys. Okay? So kudos to you guys who are just starting out in this because it can be very lucrative. It takes a lot of education, right, Anna? It takes support people. If I didn't have my mentor, whose name is Jim Ferguson, to begin with, I would never be where I am today. He's your Jim Ferguson. So that's just free information for you. So let's get on to this. By the way, I'm going to be a grandmother again twice. I've been waiting almost 10 years for this. My youngest grandchild is 10 years old. So I'm very excited about that. See, it's all of these life things that happen to you, right? As you're making money and doing all of that. So let's talk about the three different basic types of people in this world, okay, from a financial standpoint. There are debtors, there are savers, and there are wealth creators. Who's a debtor in here? Who owes money to someone else? I do. Okay? Now, debtors basically pay interest to someone else, right? Okay. Now, you may have savings, okay? But you do pay interest to someone else, so you're a debtor, right? Typically, if you have to go someplace to borrow money, then you don't have much leverage as to the interest rate that people are charging you, right? Okay, the time period that they're going to loan you the money, etc. So debtors end up using future earning potential as collateral. Have you ever thought of it that way? Yeah, when you go and you're asking somebody to loan you money, the most important thing that they're going to look at from their perspective is if you can pay the loan back. Yeah. Okay? So that's future earning potential for you, right? Now, the way that they measure that is credit report, stability, da-da-da-da-da, right? Okay. Now we're going to change some paradigms in the way that you guys think about money today. So get ready. Doesn't mean that they're wrong, it's just that they're different. So, here's the debtor. The debtor doesn't have any money, right? So the debtor borrows money, pays it back with interest. Hopefully the debtor gets back to the zero line before they have to go borrow money again. So tell me, where the best place that a debtor can ever hope to get to?
Zero.
The zero. Yes, sir.
This, of course, discounts whatever it is they've done with this loan money.
That's true, yes. That's true. We're just talking about the money right now, just from a financial perspective, okay? Now, here are the problems with borrowing money. There's credit limits, right? There's structured principal and interest payments. For you guys who have some investment property where you have renters, do they always pay on time? But you have to, don't you? Okay. Interest at opportunity cost. Jim alluded to that a little bit when he was talking before me, in that your money, when you take cash from an account, you just lost the opportunity of it continuing to earn interest for you, right? So when you pay cash for things, what are you doing? You're taking the lesser of the two evils, you're giving up interest here, so you will make more interest here. Okay? So it's an or situation, right? Okay. Single duty, right? Single duty use of your money. So, let's talk about a saver. Now, what a saver, they've won the fight against instant gratification. What does a saver do? They save money, they earn interest on their money, and then they pay cash for the things that they need. Aren't they really borrowing from themselves? Yeah. Yeah. But then don't they reduce their collateral position? That's not a good place to be in. Okay. And they reset compounding. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. So here's a saver. Phew. At least they're above the 0 line, right? Okay. So they save money, they earn interest when they have enough to buy their piece of property or put the down payment or whatever you're looking at. What do? They deplete the account, right? And then they start over. Saving money, earning interest until the next opportunity comes along. Does anybody know the definition of insanity? There you go. Where did the saver get to? 0. There's no difference between a saver and a debtor, guys. They get to the same place, they just go down a different road to get there. Okay. So where do you keep you guys' money? Okay? If you're a saver, where do you keep it? In money market accounts?
Certificate of depreciation.
Okay.
Certificate of depreciation.
Yes.
Write that down.
You can put it in a self-directed IRA, right? Because now you have access to pre-tax dollars that you may typically not even be able to touch until you're at least 59.5, right? So now you're putting that money more at work for you. You can put it in a safe or a shoebox. You can put it in a certificate of depreciation.
Yeah.
Listen, by the way, my husband, 2 weeks ago, we had way too much money, cash in our business account.
Yeah.
We've got to deploy it, right? But it was sitting in a bank.
Neither our phone number.
So, well, you can come talk to me. So, I told my husband, go, bank's across the street from our commercial building. Go tell the banker, or the bank, we want $50,000. We got it in a week.
Yeah.
And I said, every week, we want $50,000 until we get all of this money out of there.
Wow.
Now, if it's sitting, my mother calls it her cold hard cash, because she makes it look like hamburger meat in aluminum foil and puts it in her freezer. Yes. My mom's 84, she drives a little Mercedes sports car, she takes dance lessons, and she's really, she's active. But I told her, so, the next week, we went and asked for $50,000 out of our business checking. They gave us 27, it took a week. The next week, we asked, this was Friday or Thursday or Friday, we asked for $50,000 and they told us $30,000 would be available for us next Friday. And this is liquid?
Did you charge him extra?
Well, yes, sir.
Do you know, we're so brainwashed as a society, do you notice when you go in and get money, they give you a sucker? And when you go to take it out, right, you can't get it.
No.
Yeah.
No, and did Jim, didn't your bank ask you what you needed the $45,000?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell him you're writing a mystery, you can just leave that chapter out.
Yes. Now, the problem is next week I'm going to get a huge commission dumped into my business account.
All over again.
I got to start this all over again. Because I'm not going to leave money in a bank anymore.
Wait till you get an audit because they have to fill out the form and it's more than $10,000.
Yep.
I don't care, I'm going to show you a place
Patriot.
to go put money where I'm putting it. Then nobody knows that we're doing it. Okay? All right. So, this is where you typically keep money. Remember, safe, secure, guaranteed, liquid, right? Okay. So let's look at these. Different types of savings accounts. The pros. They're safe. Liquidity. Comfortable. You're used to dealing this way, right? So it's comfortable for you. And there are tax advantages. Could be. Okay? What is the tax advantages? Like in a CD, it grows tax deferred until the end of the year and you pay the tax. Okay, so as long as you leave something in some tax deferred account, you don't pay the tax till you pull it out. Okay. Cons, low interest rate environments, third party administration fees, other kinds of fees, tax on the growth. This is big. This is huge for me, subject to tax law. What does tax law do?
Change.
Oh, change, yes. Do you know, we have an accountant in our midst right now, Karen Riley, she's joining our firm, so she came out with us to just kind of see what we do, okay? But, Karen, do you even know how many tax law changes from one year to the next?
Oh, no.
Because I've heard like 470.
And they all come at the end of the year, so you have no tax planning, because then they're retroactive for the tax year that is just passed.
That's good.
Yes, that's the way it is. Congress meets in December, we find out what the new tax law for the prior year is going to be and how it affects taxpayers.
Yes, and a couple of years ago, if you remember, you couldn't even do your taxes like till February or March
That's
because
right.
the government hadn't told everybody what the new tax law was
Yeah.
for the year before.
That's right.